friends, how are we doing today? Do you notice some hearts behind me today? I just wanted to give a big shout out that we appreciate all of our frontline workers. And if you take a peek at the hearts, you'll see that we have pink for doctors, nurses, technicians, lab techs, janitors, hospital staff. We've got red for EMTs and firefighters. We also appreciate our postal workers, delivery drivers, truck drivers, our health department workers, our food providers, our law enforcement, and our media. We actually appreciate everyone. So I wanted to give a big shout out to all of those very helpful people who are right on the front lines. We appreciate you. And I also wanted to share another chapter from Charlotte's Web. We left off at chapter 15, and it's called The Crickets. Chapter 15, The Crickets. The crickets sang in the grasses. They sang the song of summer's ending, a sad, monotonous song. Summer is over and gone, they sang, over and gone, over and gone. Summer is over and gone. The crickets felt it was their duty to warn everybody that summertime cannot last forever. At least in the book. We're not at summertime yet, but we've been through summer in Charlotte's Web, and it's coming to be fall time, which is going to be the fall or autumn is a very special time for Wilbur. Even on the most beautiful days in the whole year, the days when summer is changing into fall, crickets spread the rumor of sadness and change. Everybody heard the song of the crickets. Avery and Fern Arable heard it as they walked the dusty road. They knew that school would soon begin again. The young geese heard it and knew that they would never be little goslings again. Charlotte heard it and knew she hadn't had much time left, much time to help Wilbur. Mrs. Zuckerman at work in the kitchen heard the crickets, and a sadness came over her too. Another summer gone, she said. Lurvy at work building a crate for Wilbur heard the song and knew it was time for him to dig potatoes. Summer is over and gone, reported the crickets. How many nights till frost, sang the crickets. Goodbye, summer, goodbye, goodbye. The sheep heard the crickets and they felt so uneasy they broke a hole in the pasture fence and wandered up into the field across the road. The gander discovered the hole and led his family through, and they walked to the orchard and ate the apples that were lying on the ground. A little maple tree in the swamp heard the cricket song and turned bright red with anxiety. Wilbur was now the center of attraction on the farm. Good food and regular hours were showing results. Wilbur was a pig any person would be proud of. One day, more than 100 people came to stand in his yard and admire him. Charlotte had written the word radiant, R-A-D-I-A-N-T, radiant, in her web, and Wilbur really did look radiant as he stood in the golden sunlight. Ever since the spider had befriended him, he had done his very best to live up to his reputation. When Charlotte's Web said, some pig, Wilbur had tried hard to look like some pig. When Charlotte's Web was terrific, Wilbur had tried to look terrific. And now the web said radiant, and he did everything to make himself glow and look radiant. It's not easy to look radiant, but Wilbur threw himself into it with a will. He would turn his head slightly and blink his long eyelashes. Then he would breathe deeply. And when his audience grew bored, he would spring in the air and do a backflip with half twist. And at this, the crowd would yell and cheer. How's that for a pig, Mr. Zuckerman would ask. Well pleased with himself, that pig is radiant. Some of Wilbur's friends in the barn worried for fear all this attention would go to his head and make him stuck up, but it never did. Wilbur was modest. Fame did not spoil him. He still worried some about his future, as he hardly could believe that a mere spider would be able to save his life. Sometimes at night he would have a bad dream. He would dream that men were coming to get him. But that was only a dream. In the daytime, Wilbur usually felt happy and confident. No pig ever had truer friends, and he realized that friendship is one of the most satisfying things in the world. Even as a pig, Wilbur knew friendship is one of the most satisfying things in the world. Even the song of the crickets did not make Wilbur too sad. He knew it was almost time for the county fair, and he was looking forward to the trip. If he could distinguish himself at the fair and maybe win some prize money, he was sure Zuckerman would let him live. Charlotte had worries of her own, but she kept quiet about them. One morning, Wilbur asked her about the fair. "You're going to go with me, aren't you, Charlotte?" "Well, I don't know," replied Charlotte. "I'm not sure. The fair comes at a bad time for me. I shall find it inconvenient to leave home, even for a few days." "Why?" asked Wilbur. "Oh, I just don't feel like leaving my web. Too much going on around here." "Please come with me," begged Wilbur. "Please. I need you, Charlotte. I can't stand going to the fair without you. You've just got to come." "No," said Charlotte. "I believe I'd better stay home and see if I can't get some work done." "What kind of work?" asked Wilbur. "Egg laying. It's time I made an egg sack and filled it with eggs." "I didn't know you could lay eggs," said Wilbur in amazement. "Oh, sure," said the spider. "I'm versatile." "What does versatile mean? Full of eggs?" asked Wilbur. "Certainly not," said Charlotte. "Versatile means I can turn with ease from one thing to another. It means I don't have to limit my activities to spinning webs and trapping and stunts like that." "Why don't you come with me to the fairgrounds and lay your eggs there?" asked Wilbur. "It would be wonderful fun." Charlotte gave her web a twitch and moodily watched it sway. "I'm afraid not," she said. "You don't know the first thing about egg laying, Wilbur. I can't arrange my family duties to suit the management of the county fair. When I get ready to lay eggs, I have to lay eggs, fair or no fair. However, I don't want you to worry about it. You might lose weight. We'll leave it this way. If I can come to the fair, if I possibly can, I will." "Oh, good," said Wilbur. "I knew you wouldn't forsake me when I need you most." All that day, Wilbur stayed inside, taking life easy in the straw. Charlotte rested and ate a grasshopper. She knew that she couldn't help Wilbur much longer. In a few days, she would have to drop everything and build a little egg sack that would hold her eggs. And that brings us to the end of this chapter called Crickets. So Charlotte's getting ready to lay eggs. It might not be a good time for her with the fair, but you know what? The next chapter is called Off to the Fair. So when we come back together, we will read chapter 16, Off to the Fair, and we will find out whether Charlotte indeed goes with Wilbur to the fair. So that's it for right now. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful night. Sleep tight, and I will see you soon.